What is up, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News, the only live call-in show on YouTube. All right, well, not really, but we did just make 100,000 subscribers. Dex, you were supposed to do music. All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Either way, we'll be right back with your call-in show right after this.
You know that we be rockin', rollin', 100,000 is the Marfoogle roll. Thanks to all your Marfoogle news.
Marfoogle Network. What? I heard 100,000 kind of makes you have a more mature voice. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
Either way, 100,000 subscribers, and it's all due to you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing. This has been a journey the entire time, and a lot of you have come with me. We have over 11,000, almost 12,000 in, and actually, you know what, Discord, I think we're over 12,000. I've said that, and we haven't really counted since. Over 300 active and retired military folks in the Discord. We've got some awesome people in this group. It's just absolutely amazing. Shout out to Maya and Believe in the Magic Vlogs. I'm going to shout her out later. Sent me this awesome coffee mug. Actually, I don't know if it's a coffee mug. It might be a sugar holder or something, but that's how I'm using it. So thank you. Obviously, she knew I'm a huge BB-8, Star Wars fan in general. So, and it keeps it warm. So that's how I'm using it. And if you've never been here before, this is a live call-in show. We're going to go over the news. Now, unfortunately, we have a lot of negative news right now, and there's nothing else that they're going to call me besides fearmonger. I honestly do have a belief that a lot of you guys share, and that is a realistic belief that we are heading into conflict, if not conflict, many other things. Honestly, in this day and age, we are all asking a lot of questions. The difference is, this is what I truly believe. This is what I spend all of my time looking into. And once you kind of wake up to the reality of what's going on, all of the events that have happened prior, a lot of the ones that I know about happened since 2001 September. Now, of course, I know there's people that have been around from the 70s saying the 60s, however old you may be, there's a lot of people that have been watching this happen over decades and decades. And now we are getting to the tip top of the pyramid. We are nearly at 2020. This is insanity. What is going on all around the world? It's almost like everything is at a climax. You're talking about natural weather being completely unnatural. You are talking about people in general. There's something that is just going around the world. It's just this entirely negative, just muck is going around the world, and everyone is changing. This politically correct thing, just all this stuff that's going on is absolutely amazingly gross, in my opinion, in some ways. And then you have, of course, a lot of things being forced on people in the name of, making people more accepting. I get a lot of that stuff, but, some of it is just unbelievable. So with that being said, this is a really awesome thing. We have some, unfortunately, bad news for everybody, but at the same time, It's kind of like, should we spend our life? Here's the thing. When people walk away with the show, especially if they watch the whole thing, even if we're talking about WW3 or if we're talking about an asteroid hitting Earth, we have a good time. And you know what? What other way are you supposed to take this information in? We can't sell our houses and go off and live in the woods. I mean, you could, but why do that? Honestly, we all have time to go. What if that's set? I honestly would like to be prepared if there is something that's preventable, earthquakes are a survivable thing. If we have the study and the research that kind of, basically says that people are now coming close to forecasting them or predicting them, then we should be learning about that. We should be looking at that. But there's a lot of things that they don't want us to know, and I honestly get mad about that. So again, enough with my rant. We're going to introduce anyone new to the channel to what goes on here. So we are going to go over multiple articles here, and we don't have that many today. We have some big ones. We're going to go over several articles, and then we're going to go into the call-in part of the show where you guys can actually call in and give your opinion. Now, of course, this show is really centered around the fact that on Monday, Russia is going to be disconnecting their entire internet. And from my knowledge, I believe this is the second time. Now, I'm going to pull Dex here in a second after I introduce the website. If you guys want to follow along, we actually take the time before every show and load up into marfooglenews.com every single article that we are going to read here today. So we don't just say something and then not give you the source. We actually give you the link and the opportunity to actually go there, follow along, archive it, whatever you want to do. And on top of that, anybody who calls in with information, we not only get that information, we archive it and put it on the website so people can go a year later, a day later, a week later, it doesn't matter when they go, they can click on it. So if you go to our website, you'll see this. It shows all the thumbnails. If you click on this thumbnail, the entire country disconnecting, this is just a test, right? And when you click on that, you will actually see down below there is all of the articles linked, including Twitters. So if we show a tweet or a video, they're all there. Right today, we have some pretty crazy stuff. Cruise ships crashing into each other, people videotaping it. You have, of course, Russia disconnecting their entire internet. I mean, this is absolutely crazy stuff. So without further ado, let me get Dex in here. Dex does a lot of the tech work behind the scenes. He helps produce the show, and he also screens the calls and gets me all the info. I have a screen on my left that actually has all of the callers, and he can actually, if you have a video to share, an article, or a government document, you can actually send it to Dex, and Dex can help me display it right up on the screen for you guys. So, without further ado, Dex, are you there? Can we do a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam, and congrats on the 100K. That's a huge accomplishment, and thank you to everyone in the Foogle fam that's helped us get here.
And by the way, Dex, people forget to mention, so a lot of people actually still do not know, and I don't know how, but a lot of people comment and they say, that's amazing, this and that. They have no idea about the other channel. The other channel, Marfoogle News, is actually closing in on 150,000. So I always get the comments like, what are you talking about? You're at 150,000, not 100. And then, or they say, you're at 100,000, not 150. So a lot of people don't know about the other channel. We have a sister channel that you guys can go check out, Marfoogle News. And hopefully we get another one of those trophy thingies. But it took me 6 months to get that thing. So I'm just happy to be here. Honestly, that really to me stands for the work that we've done on this show. Again, I was really surprised. They actually give you an option to order a second one. So we're going to try to get Dex one in his studio as well, because he helped hard work to get into that for us to get here. So thank you, Dex. A big congrats to you as well, Dex.
Thank you, and great work, Adam.
All right, now, okay, let's get started. Without waiting any longer, there's a lot of crazy stuff here to go through, and really part of it actually starts right here in Washington. Now, I didn't have time today. We've got family, we've got all this stuff going on, but we have some of the worst flooding we've had honestly, as long as I can remember, as far as, and by the way, the last time we had floods like this, I still don't think it was in place as bad as this. There's local pictures of cars literally there was a truck like an F-150 with just the back end of the tailgate exposed from the water because they drove into a ditch and couldn't see it. There is such bad flooding, and it's literally like I could drive about 15, 20 minutes and I could actually go see that. So I'm going to try to go get video if it's still bad. They had aerial flooding, which essentially means in certain areas it's so bad that the places that normally flood are really bad. Cars were driving into ditches. A lot of cars. I've never seen so many cars. Normally you see the water up to their window or something, but for some reason there's like 10 cars on the news that are all like this. And maybe it's because where the flooding is, there's a lot of those like ditches, the kind of water gates on the edge of the street. People don't know where the heck they're driving. They're trying to follow GPS and going through these water pits, and they don't know how deep it is. But again, there's something to be said about the weather. It says record rainfall and darkness has hit Seattle as a major storm begins to lift across western Washington on the first day of winter. Though the region is still at risk for flooding, mudslides, and avalanches, which we already had a mudslide earlier today. We also had this just crazy flooding. It says Friday became the wettest day in Seattle in the past 10 years and the most rain recorded for December 20th since record keeping at Seattle began in 1945. Again, this is another record set. This is the most rain since 1945. That is an insane record. It says the National Weather Service said that the airport recorded 3.25 inches, 8.25 centimeters of rain Friday, also making it the 5th rainiest day in city history. And this is Seattle. This is a place that literally is one of the most stereotypical rainy cities. Our postcards literally have, kind of a gray picture of Seattle. It's rainy, gray skies, and it actually says summer, winter, fall, spring, and it's just got all 4 pictures of the same thing, because that's basically what we get. Sometimes we get these amazing summers, and they're like 2 months long, but mostly it's gray. A lot of people compare it to Europe and to like England, I think. There's one of the cities over there that's just exactly the same. Here, it's very gray. It's very gloomy. They have a lot of suicides, apparently, a lot of dentists. I shouldn't have said the S word, but again, and in fact, I think we have the highest amount of dentist self-offs in the world or something like that. Either way, this is another record. Weather is just absolutely going crazy. They called it something weird. I don't know if they used the word here, but it was like a Airstream River or something. Did you see Dex what they called it? It was like a streamial river or something. If anybody,
no, I did not. No, I did not see that.
If anybody knows what they were using, it was a word I've never heard before. It was talking about the Airstream, and it wasn't Celestial River. It was something like that. But when you see the picture where you normally see kind of a rotation of clouds, everybody's seen Doppler. It was the craziest thing. It's a super line. It's almost like there was just straight up a straight airstream into Washington. So I think that there are definitely a lot of changes happening on this planet. People argue about who's doing it. I don't really care. All I know is that things are changing all around us. We have tons of things going on, and people are just trying to plug their ears either way. The people that believe in this, the people that don't believe in this, both of them are plugging their ears and just saying, nothing's happening. There's something definitely happening. And I'm sorry, but anybody from any state, we get emails all the time. I asked you guys about a month ago anytime local news covers a record-breaking day, email us. We've gotten hundreds and hundreds of those emails. All the cities across the United States, if you watch national news, it's not like going to be like, oh, today there was a record in this, a record in this, a record in that. It's the locals will know about it, but they don't, you don't know about the whole big picture. From the emails we get, we can see the whole big picture is absolutely nuts. There's record highs, record lows, record rains, record snows. That almost turned into a Christmas song. But it's true. This is literally all happening right in front of us, and a lot of your friends and family think you're crazy for thinking something's up, and you're not. You are literally not crazy. There's something big going on, not only with Earth, not only with humans. And I like literally just humans in general, regardless of the politics that's going on in the country or in the world. It's the world, like the people in the world. Something is changing, especially if you believe in any kind of religion. Everything is just changing. Period. It's turning into it's turning into something. That's for sure. Again, we broke a record that was previously set 113 years ago. So you guys can check out the rest of the article there on marfooglenews.com if you would like. All right, now U.S. Navy bans Chinese app TikTok over cybersecurity concerns. And again, I am sure a lot of you have teenage daughters or younger children that are actually on this TikTok thing. It is a new generation thing. A lot of people are on it. In fact, I was surprised to see how many 30, 40-year-olds are doing TikTok. It's kind of like you record a 15-second thing. Dex, when you looked at it pretty close when we were thinking of doing like the political project on it. Is it 15 seconds or is it, what is it?
I think you can go up to 60, but most of them are short. They're really short.
Most of them
go up to 60.
Most of them are short, but they're also, you can lip sync and it does it in slow mo. So you can say, if it's the Beach Boys or something, you can go, you can slowly move your lips to the slow-mo music, and then when it speeds it up, it looks like you're a really good lip syncer or something like that. You can also just pick audio from anything, or you can just do a video. Well, the kids are picking this up. This, just like Face App from Russia, this is a horrible security concern for a lot of people. They are doing facial recognition on it, I believe now, and then they are also doing all of these different things that actually record all the things you're doing on other apps. So again, this is a big sign. You should get your teenagers off this thing, in my opinion. You don't have to. Again, I don't want TikTok coming at me or something. But again, U.S. Navy bans Chinese app TikTok over cybersecurity concerns. It says the U.S. Navy issued a bulletin uploaded to Facebook page serving military members earlier this week, saying that the service members are to delete the Chinese video sharing app TikTok from government-issued phones or face exclusion from the military intranet. So they're basically saying you will not be able to use the internet if you TikTok. I also think that might be added to it because they don't want some sort of scandal with, a general sitting there singing Britney Spears on paid time. I don't know. Maybe that's it, but it sounds like this is a big cybersecurity thing. It says the bulletin says the demand was issued because the application presents a, quote, cybersecurity threat, but did not elaborate. Pentagon spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Uriah Orland said in a statement that the order was part of an effort to address existing and emerging threats, according to Reuters report. Now, we put a video out, which, got a lot of people. A lot of people supported the last video we put out on Marfoogle News. It was a clip of our last show. When you really take that out of context from the whole show, it does seem pretty, us going, we're about to have a conflict. We're about to have WW, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it was. When I watched my own video again, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like we're trying to scare people. We're not. The thing is unfortunately, WW3 will happen eventually. It's an inevitability, in my opinion, and statistically, like people, even if you took any kind of equation, it's almost impossible for us to not go to another major conflict. Does that mean that everyone here is going to, is it the end of the world? No. But unfortunately, not everybody in the world agrees. And as long as we're human beings, until we've gone up to the next stage of civilization, we're going to get in conflicts. And that's unfortunately looking what is going on. Now they're directing all of the attention towards China. China is mass producing ships. We told you that last night. That just came out. By the way, I called it months and months before that. We got information that they had satellite photos. This was before the news got it. I told you guys that they had satellite photos, mass producing ships. They were doing quantity over quality. And a lot of people got mad. I saw a lot of comments mad. They're like, still don't win. There's some people that just literally honestly think, China, no matter what they have, are going to lose in a conflict. I think it's smart to not underestimate any enemy, any of them, even if it was NK or whatever. Just don't underestimate. Take it safe, do the safe things. And I'm sure our military is like doing some crazy stuff. But again, part of our crowd is saying it's above that. There's puppet masters above all of this. What do they want? Well, the thing is all of this would be good for the companies that they own. You're talking about the industrial complex here, the military. So, and this is just insanity. It's every single day. It's like 40 articles are pointing towards China. It says a Navy spokesman said, well, the sailors and Marines who use government-issued phones are usually allowed to use popular commercial apps, including social media apps. Certain apps that present a security risk are banned, although the spokesman did not provide example of apps that are allowed or those considered unsafe. Why now, Dex, why do you think that this is such an issue with them? Do you think it's the facial recognition? Do you think it's the tracking, or?
Yeah, I think it's going to be facial recognition and tracking. We know that that TikTok in their China version of the app had introduced the ability to search by faces and find people based on their face. So presumably that same code, it's all done on the back end. So presumably that same functionality is going to be exploited or available to them on this US or a non-China version of the application. And I think that's probably the biggest threat, is to think that servicemen and women are getting their faces logged in on the system. And not only that, if they're creating short little clips or short little videos, and they're doing it, their location, the information like that could be a serious vital piece of information could be going out to TikTok, and they would have that information.
Well, I think overall, I people are commenting that they can use Facebook, which surprises me that they can track our military personnel like that. I mean, Facebook collects a ton of information, but they don't care. So obviously TikTok has to be doing something really bad if this silly TikTok little, do 60 seconds hands and dance videos gets banned from the military. Something's going on with China. That's just
Facebook's owned by a U.S. company, right? There is a U.S. company, and TikTok is absolutely 100% owned by a Chinese company. And I think that's probably the other part of the security threat, right?
Yeah, it sounds like, they are very serious about not having anything connected. There was the Hawaii, but I don't know how you say that. Huawei? How do you say it, Dex? Huawei?
It's pronounced Huawei.
Yahweh is, of course, banned from the United States, their phones, and they're the number 2 phone in the world, or number 2 produced phone, or they're a gigantic company. So it's just absolutely crazy that all this is going on at the same time. All right, now here's some big stuff right here. Now, I'm going to show you right here. Let's get this like that. Putin through 2030. He says law on consecutive term limits could be abolished. It says, could Vladimir Putin remain in office as president for another consecutive term? Russian law and the Constitution forbids it. But some interesting things were suggested at Putin's annual end-of-year Q&A with journalists. Given he was re-elected in March 2018 and inaugurated in May to a 6-year term, Putin is set to leave office in 2024. But on Thursday, he said the following. He said, one thing that could be changed about these presidential terms is removing the clause about successive terms. Your humble servant served 2 terms consecutively, then left his post and had the constitutional right to return to the post of president, because these were not 2 successive terms, he said. He goes, this clause troubles some of our political analysts and public figures. Well, maybe it could be removed. So, isn't it? I'm sorry, but this is just so weird. And he goes, it's only possible to do this changes After thorough preparation and a deep discussion in society, you need to be very careful, he added. So, are you kidding? Like, he's literally telling them, like, you guys need to be careful. If you do anybody but me, you're going to have to be careful. So, you might want to just, keep me for the rest of my life. That's what he's saying, right?
That's what it sounds like to me. And it's not the first time, but it's certainly the first time he's said it.
It just seems to me like he's been the president. How long has he been the president? I mean, it's been however many years. And then he was, and then Xi Jinping is the president for the rest of his life. He did that in his term. People were saying that T-Man is the last president. If Putin was the last president, and then now Xi Jinping last president, it's almost like they know something we don't. Like, they're like, yeah, who cares about doing a new president? Something is ending. Let's see here. Let's see here.
So Vladimir Putin was 2000 to 2008, and then Dmitry Medvedev came in for 4 years, and then Vladimir Putin came back from 2012 to the president.
Really? I don't even remember him. I do remember the other guy briefly. So how long was he in? He wasn't in 6 years, was he?
It was only 4 years. Yeah. Putin had 8 years. Dmitry had 4 years, and then Putin is in on his 7 years and 226 days.
Huh. Well, whatever is going on there, it's just funny because we saw Xi Jinping. We covered that when that happened. He essentially changed the laws for himself to stay president for the rest of his life, or the ruler of of China. So it's just weird that all this is happening. And that was when T-Man, Commander-in-Chief, made that joke about saying, it's not such a bad thing. Maybe I should do that too. And of course, the media just got all over his ass about it. Because he was stating that, maybe I'll, make an executive order making me president for life. So that was a big deal then. It said, now this is the craziest thing ever. So I want to know what's going on here, and I'm sure you guys do too. It says Russia's sovereign internet test will cut off the entire country from the web on Monday. Now, it says here, on Monday, a key initiative undertaken by the Russian government for over the past year to establish a sovereign internet will face a major test. That's when the country and its information system will be intentionally disconnected from the World Wide Web, according to Russia's communications ministry. Russia aims to ready its own web to both survive a global internet shutdown and defend against foreign cyber attacks and intrusion on its data infrastructure. The test is based on the recently passed, quote, sovereign internet bill into Russian law, which requires, quote, all communications operators, messengers, and email providers to participate in the tests, as well as the state-run institutions and security services, according to a summary of the law. Dex, this is a lot huger than people understand. Why are they testing it again so soon?
Well, this time the test is much bigger, right? The last time that we talked about this, they were doing it and they were running through their exercise drills for it, and I believe they were just turning off the internet for federal and regional services that they had. Now they're actually going to be shutting down across large portions, if not all, of the citizens in this test. It's a much bigger deal. So, it's what's really happening is they're creating an intranet because they're disconnecting from the internet. So they're basically making sure that their network stands up when they want to shut off the rest of the world, and they can continue to serve their own services and redirect or send the traffic wherever they want. So if you try to go to Google, they may take you and send you to Gaggle, their own version of the search engine, and say, we want you to go here. This is our server, and it's going to run while we're shut down from the rest of the world. So there's a lot of different things going on here, whether it's, from a defensive point of view for being prepared in a conflict situation. It could also be another way of looking at how they could be using cyber um, warfare in being able to completely disconnect their internet, but still be able to attack outside or go outside and do things and not have anything come back in to their network.
So it sounds to me like they see something on the horizon. Obviously, they're and then don't you think this is almost kind of connected to this whole TikTok thing? As far as our guys, our military is cutting something as small or as as what we would think is trivial as TikTok out because it could pose a cybersecurity threat. Obviously, the cybersecurity issue is getting way bigger. They are literally cutting off their entire country to the internet for a day because they are obviously to survive a global internet shutdown or to prepare for one and defend against foreign cyber attacks. So they expect a foreign cyber attack. They did the last one just a couple months ago. This isn't the kind of thing that they do to pound their chest and say, we can do it. I mean, they can brag that, oh, we'll be okay through this, but this isn't like a saber rattling thing. Or do you see it as that? Do you see this as saber rattling? Because this isn't.
It certainly could be, but it's really strange that it's happening so close to this holiday season. I understand that from the documents that were released, and I don't know if they were leaked, but that people have actually gone over, it was originally scheduled for the 19th, and it's now been pushed back to Monday, the 23rd. So, but this is happening 2 days before Christmas. It's sort of a pay attention here. Let's see what's going on, and they're being pretty vocal about it. But there's a lot of people questioning how this is gonna play out.
Well, and we just had a lot of the direct deposits have issues from the Fed. The actual Fed, something was going on digital. A lot of people did not get paid. They said they resolved it, but after we did that episode, I want to say 2 nights ago, we first talked about it, and then last night we mentioned it. You're talking about direct deposits were not sent out to a lot of people. And they said that, no, there's a lot of people that still did not get their check. Some people were told by their companies Monday. That is just like, for regular me, I'm like, it's not a big deal. But for, theory me, I'm like, do I not want to be at home for the holidays? That freaks me out. Now, as far as Russia, look at what the world is doing. China is preparing ships en masse. They have totally made their own intranet. They are training their people that anything could happen at any time. They are basically saying that they have the upper hand cyber-wise. Then you've got Russia creating their own internet in like a snap. Do you remember this? Dex, you've only been with me for a matter of months. We talked about this when Russia said, we were thinking about separating our internet. And then how long was it? Like 3 weeks? And they were like, oh, we passed a law. We are going to have our own internet. And now it's like however many months later, not even a year, we're sitting here and they're on their second test of it. And they are disconnecting the whole thing.
Yeah, they moved really quick on this. Very quick.
Like way too quick. And then us on our side, we have done drills. We showed you this, where we got the entire transatlantic sea crew, I guess, basically all of the vessels that take the tanks, that take all the vehicles, all the basically like the cargo ships that takes, ships or take tanks and everything else over there. They had a flash drill. Normally they drill like with 2 or 3 ships. These are gigantic ships. 2 or 3 ships. They said, no, we want you all to be ready to go in 5 days. Every single ship in the fleet. And they had them do that drill just like, 6 weeks ago? And they said, we want to see if you can get ready in 5 days to move everything. Then we finished our brand spanking new carrier. And they said, oh, no, launch it. 9 days after its launch, which the last one that was launched and the new and broke, they broke the champagne bottle on the ship. The last one took 4.5 months. They did all sorts of things. They decorated. I mean, it was like a cruise ship. They were decorating and doing stuff with it. This one launched in 9 days, is already on its first mission. You've got all the things that are going on, of course, in the Middle East. That is taking the back seat. Now it's all China. It's all Russia. It's all these two. And then, of course, you have the the Truman. The Truman was going to retire in T-Man's own budget. And a couple weeks later, all of a sudden, we had the nuclear incident, or the nuclear sub, the research sub from Russia. And then those men, the 14 men, had a fire in this top secret nuclear sub. The sub was recovered. Not everyone died. They pulled the sub back. And then Mike Pence, his plane got turned around. Britain did their Cobra meeting. Russia talked to their defense minister. T-Man had his entire schedule cleared, which we never see. Not like Mar-a-Lago or something like that. It literally got cleared that day. We actually showed you that. We showed you his schedule, and it was the one day that everything was clear. So something big happened. And then, of course, the Russian top military official said at those gentlemen's funeral that those men died avoiding a planetary catastrophe. They are one of the top heroes of the world because they died avoiding a planetary catastrophe. And right around that same time, the Truman, I keep saying Lincoln, the Truman that was supposed to retire, he said, no, we need that ship. We're keeping that aircraft carrier. It's going to go for another 20 years. And did emergency repairs, got it going, got it out on the water. There's all these things going on. So the Middle E is not even like a thing. I mean, like, that's honestly, there's bigger things now. And I think, and it's just crazy because you could see the path of this before when Britain and Theresa May, and they talked about how they were taking everything out of Mr. Al-Qaeda and putting it into Russia. And then we were all staring at Russia. Then this whole thing goes on with China. People in our niche are so confused on what's going on, or they're so confident in their theory. They're like, no. We're actually friends with, Putin. We're actually friends with Xi Jinping and this and that. Even if they're friends, they could be having champagne while their countries are going at conflict. Because this is good for the big guys. The people that own the weapons companies, the people that own the missile companies, the people that own the banks. Those are the people that are they pay for both sides. We have seen this in history. Rothschild paid, I shouldn't even say that name, paid for both sides of a war. So we're seeing this happen right in front of our eyes. And people are going to stay asleep. You don't have to stay asleep, and you don't have to feel crazy. I'm sure there's a lot of us right here, right now, that are embarrassed to say our feelings around our coworkers, our friends, or family. You can't say something because honestly, all of us have that feeling like we're going to be made fun of, or like we're crazy, like we're cuckoo. Literally, that's how people are trained. Like that woman who called in last night talking about being brainwashed. She was right. We have all been indoctrinated and, brainwashed to see that kind of person. Why do you think when they show any channel like mine, they say conspiracy? Any channel, even if we back up every single damn thing we put with a mainstream article, and we talk about it, we have theories about it, but nothing in there is, starts with the letter C. It's because they train your mind to see that. There's not a single article that doesn't include that word. I've shown you a million articles. They all say, known theorists, blah, 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 is this. And it puts it in your brain immediately. You start decrediting, you start losing credit for that person the second you start reading that. That's how every article starts. If we break the news, it's, the sea theorists says this. The way that they treated me after Hot Musket, how, what's his name? The federal snitch, what's his face? Do you know who I'm talking about? Hal Turner. Hal Turner was the one, he broke, or his intern broke the story of Hot Musket, and then when he called Lieutenant Colonel Baldanza, the actual Pentagon spokesman of that time, or what I think is they called him and said, take that story down. And Hal Turner, who went to prison for 3 years and ended up getting a shorter sentence because he snitched on, or he basically was an informer. He ended up saying, and nothing against the dude. Like, I don't have beef. I don't do negative crap. But since it came from my channel, he wrote the nastiest thing, like that the Pentagon spokesperson said, this must be from a highly delusional sea theorist, this and that, like, just totally threw me in the mud. A lot of people threw me in the mud, including some of the people that used to help me. But yet, still to this day, nobody can explain why the Pentagon itself responded to a little tiny, stupid, at the time, 30,000 subscriber YouTube channel. There are big things happening right now. And yes, this goofy little show has a lot of real sources. We have had all sorts of high-ranking people watch the show because they're looking up the subjects and they end up finding us through search engine optimization. Then they end up watching and they go, this is dumb. And then they go, this is dumb. I'll watch it for 20 minutes. I'll watch it for 5 more minutes. Shoutro? Oh my gosh, he just said my name. And then they end up calling us. So we are getting real info. We're backing it up with sources, but still people joke around. I would rather do this with a smile on my face. I'd rather have fun while talking about some of the crappiest subjects ever, because otherwise this isn't fun to me. And if this ever becomes where it's not fun to me, I'm not going to do it. Honestly, like, don't want to even go down that road. People think that the money and this and that, the money is better at my old job when I was in banking. At banking, I had enough. And people like expect us to like go into this like we're just like broke homeless people or something. Or somebody before said, I was in my sister's 2001 Acura and they were like, look, he's got a brand new nice car. I'm like, my car's nicer than this. I actually have a 2012, I have a nice sports car, a Mustang. It's, it's not like super Cobra or anything. But I bought that at my nice, super good, cushy job. And I left that for this. So I just want people to know, like, this was put in a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice. It was putting everything in. And then at the time where I did finally, I lost 2 jobs because of this channel. I live in the most left state you can be in. And I mean, it is incredible. This is so funny. We didn't even cover this, Dex. The people in charge of our homeless program here, one of them, the main person just resigned because video leaked. Because they hired with government money, taxpayers' money, the government and even church officials were at this meeting, which looked like a weird, like, Hotel 6 meeting. They hired a trans stripper and like not even, no offense, but not even like let's just leave it at that. The trans stripper was kissing government employees. I mean, this is all in front of reverends. There was an actual reverend there, like a big reverend, church official, government officials. And those were the people in charge of our homeless situation. And people wonder why Seattle and San Francisco are so bad. It's just insane. And I have nothing against that group of people, even if it was a regular. And that's what I said on Twitter. I said, it doesn't even matter that it was a trans stripper. It was a stripper at a government party for housing the homeless. It's just nuts. All of this is going down, and people are going to call me fearmonger until the day I'm gone. Until the day I'm off the internet. But just watch. You guys have watched long enough that you have the signs. You've seen all the little stories that add up. I know because you email me and you go, look, this adds into it. Look, this connects. We know. I'm not some sort of genius. It's because of all of the stuff you guys send in. Everybody is connecting. This is a group effort. Like, all of us are a part of this. I am no more a part of it than Dex or Mods or anybody else. So I just hope you guys know this is a special show because it is 100,000 subscribers and it means a whole lot to me. And you guys mean a lot to me. And, you know, I hope the people watching understand why we try to do stuff, why we try to have fun at the same time. Because, man, otherwise this would be the gloomiest show on YouTube. So, okay, I'm done. Jeez, now there's like 3,100 people watching. I really mean it, though. Seriously, let's have fun. Let's live every single day like it's our last, even if it's never going to end. Even if we, you know, go on to the year 4000 and we never have another conflict in the world. Let's still live like it's our last. It's almost Christmas. Everybody should have a happy holiday. But at the same time, spend $5 a week on preps. People like Alaska Prepper or Magic Prepper, those guys can teach you how to do stuff for cheap. Anyways, okay, let's move on. I'm gonna finish this, and then we are gonna get to. There's even more important stuff out there too. Let's see here. Essentially, I know it's crazy. We cut in the middle of this. Essentially, it means all Russian internet traffic will be routed to exchange points approved by the Federal Service for Supervision of Communications, Information Technology, and Mass Media, otherwise known as the Roskomnadzor, Russia's federal executive body responsible for censorship in media and telecommunications. It says these hubs will filter traffic in such a way that data will be sent between Russians' internet users, and it should work seamlessly, simultaneously rejecting any communication with foreign computers. The test will evaluate the possibility of intercepting subscriber traffic and revealing information about the subscriber blocking communication services, according to an internet government document. However, the ministry noted it shouldn't significantly impact regular individual internet users, and it is to take place in stages on December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve. It just creeps me the hell out. Really, it does. President Putin actually addressed, quote, the Sovereign Internet Initiative this week at his annual year-end press conference, saying it is a response to a journalist's question, saying, quote, free internet and sovereign internet. I guess he just says the same thing. Free internet and sovereign internet. These notions do not contradict each other. That was a quote from him. He was responding to criticism from activist groups which say it's a dramatic and dangerous step towards a complete government censorship and all total information control. Which, I mean, it's true. Right? They actually say they will have 100% control of what comes in and what goes out. But that's no different than what it is now. That's no different than what we have. We think we are so free of information, but we're getting filtered information and twisted information based on other twisted information. The real information, the real truth is really us asking questions that don't go with anything that's already written down. It's asking questions that don't exist yet. That's what we call freedom, like being able to ask questions, and that's going away. In fact, NATO, that actually considers this one of the most dangerous things to do. He continued, quote, the law you have mentioned is aimed only at preventing adverse consequences of global disconnection from the global network, which is largely controlled from abroad. This is the point. This is what sovereignty is. To have our resources that can be turned on so that we would not be cut from the internet, according to TASS. So they are, and then it says the law says that in case of threat or major cyber attack from abroad, the country's comms communications watchdog Roskomnadzor can take complete control and centrally oversee of the country's network. So this is a big thing. And, you know, of course, People say, oh, yeah, it is. But, I mean, it's really big. We are watching this like a hawk. But I guarantee you, by the time something happens, we won't even know it's coming. That's why we say if we get any kind of warning, we will let you know through Marfoogle alerts. All right. Let's see here. First on to this. This one's negative, and then I got to show you something that I consider kind of funny. There was the 7-car train derailment near Washington County in Washington, D.C., and it says, let's see if we can skip all these cookies. They're not tasty. Okay, I'm going to have to go to the regular one. Boom, Baltimore. A freight train carrying 7 cars. Let's see if it will stop this. Look at this. I'm going to show you full screen here. If it ever loads. This looks really bad. Of course, they got a freaking ad. You can't watch anything without ads. Not even my show. A freight train carrying 7 cars of grain derailed early Saturday in the morning area between Harpers Ferry, West Virginia and Brunswick, Maryland. CSX officials say the derailment happened around 2:30 a.m. Saturday as the train was traveling eastbound. As a result of the derailment, 2 of the 7 cars fell into the Potomac River. A representative for the company says all 7 cars were empty and there were no hazardous materials involved that could potentially be harmful to the internet. So it was a grain train. Sorry, that was bad. Luckily, nobody was hurt. But anytime there's a train derailment, obviously rules change. I have friends that work in the train industry. They say that every time something like this happens, they end up changing laws. They end up changing ways they do things. Now, they use things like this, though, to make everything digital and on this crazy track system that they are doing. So even trains are going to be soon controlled regardless of, they're going to have electric trains. They're also going to have all these weird things that are going on where you won't be able to travel anywhere without having permission from people above. So pretty crazy. Now, here's the funny thing. Okay, I'm going to play this video for you guys just so you see. I can't play the sound. I want to, but it's really bad. The guy just drops F-bombs the entire time. So I'm going to mute this sound. And I am actually I'm going to play some music. There we go. A grain train.
I gotta give me something that's gonna lift me.
Cruising.
Yeah, she wasn't standing just right there with me.
Hey, it looks like that ship's gonna hit. Oh gosh.
What can I get you?
Cruise ship's taking a dip. That carnival ride sucked. Okay, so by the way, not only does this ship end up turning and then hitting this other one, then these guys are screaming, saying essentially that they're going to hit the other one too. So these guys are shooting from another cruise ship, and it's about to hit. So I'll play 1 second and I'll try to censor it a little bit. Flub. Fluffy dove. Fluffy dove. Fluffy Dove. Fluffy Dove. Fluffy Dove. All right, that's enough. I don't have one of those fancy beeper things, so. Yeah, and people commented on the thread. There's this guy in the background. Are you getting that on video? Are you getting that on video? Are you getting it on video? You got it on video? Is it on video? Wow, that's cool. It's on video. It's actually kind of annoying, but you can see this doesn't. I mean, this is the point where it makes people not want to take cruise ships anymore. With all the things I've seen, I've never been on one. I'm sure somebody who's been on one would be like, oh, I would take one in a million. You know, I'd take a million cruise ships. I'm sure they're awesome. But after seeing that one where the 5 staff members bounced out on the whole crew, like just all the ones that have been sideways, the ones that have been, you know, just, I don't know. Ever since seeing Titanic, never wanted to do it.
Here's a quick thought for you, Adam. All these cruise ships, when they come into a port, for the most part, it's not the captain. They actually bring a pilot, and the pilot gets off of a little boat and jumps onto the cruise ship, and it's the pilot of the port, because they charge and they get fees for all this. It's his job to dock the ship. So this cruise ship is being rammed into another cruise ship, not by the captain, but by the local pilot of the port.
So you're saying some Joe Schmo that doesn't he's not an expert in this does this?
Well, he's an expert. He's supposed to be an expert in the channel and the port itself. So they pull into a port, and as they approach the port, a small boat comes out, and a pilot jumps on the ship through a doorway, and he goes up, and he is in charge of captaining the ship into dock in that port.
Oh, so that captain's probably pissed. Everybody's thinking, this captain's an idiot. But really, it's this port guy.
Yeah,
and that's
the pilot.
So, and you said somebody we know has been on this exact one. Bones, right? And
yeah, Bones had been on that exact ship, and he said that back section that's been ripped up is the restaurant in the back of the ship.
Wow, incredible!
Ripped a hole in the restaurant. I also heard one person did get injured running away from the crash as it was happening inside.
Well, one thing that
no major injuries.
One thing that I saw though is somebody said don't jump in. So I don't know if they could see somebody that was there or at the edge of the. I couldn't really see anybody there. I was thinking it hit here when somebody was standing there or something, and they were telling the guy not to jump in because maybe. I thought that they saw somebody like contemplating, like, oh, should I jump in? You would never want to jump in behind one of these big cruise ships because the blades are spinning so fast. It would be kind of like it would spin you around. There's a huge amount of water.
It's like a pretty big fall too.
Yeah, I mean that would be like hitting really like concrete, really. Yeah. Well. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Just cruise
and when
ships.
You get a chance,
go ahead.
Yeah, when you get a chance, I do have breaking news, semi-breaking news in the screener. If you want to pull it up, it's another Twitter video. There's a fire at LAX airport. Kind of interesting to see.
Okay, let's do it. Let's show it now. Let's see here. Oh wow! Wait, this is at the airport?
Yeah, it's at the airport, and I think I've since learned, I believe that a passenger bus started the fire. So I don't know what caused it to get set ablaze. If it was something intentional, something accidental,
like
and then
something blowing up.
There were no people on it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate too far, but you can see plenty of fire in that video that you're about to show.
Have you listened to the sound yet?
No, I did not hear the sound, so you be careful.
Okay, let me see. All right, I'm gonna try to ease into this. Okay, so this is a video, breaking news from LAX. Whoa.
Welcome to LA, everybody.
Yeah, because LA is always on fire. All right, so we get the gist of it. It looks like a commuter bus is on fire, but that's a huge fire. So how does that doesn't happen from just like an engine block blowing up? It would have to go extremely long to get that entire bus on fire. So what actually happened? And it's kind of suspicious that it is at the airport. Of course, at the airport where, they've got extreme security concerns. And we have seen a lot of attempted things over the last, 5 years. We've seen a lot of stuff that got shut down or screwed up at the airport. People with weapons and things like this. That's, kind of something that they look out for. So as far as this goes, I will retweet this. Looks like 17 retweets. So this is, somebody says, God is with T-Man. It says arson. Let's see here.
Adam, I just read 2 liquid propane-powered buses were fully involved with the fire.
Propane-filled buses? What the heck? What do you mean?
Well, yeah, I think they're the ones that probably run on propane, the liquid compressed gas. They're converted buses. Yeah, that's what I'm catching. It's about 25 firefighters involved in that. It was a big blaze.
Wow. So whatever happened there, I wonder if anybody from right there, blame it on Bush. That's kind of funny. Most of Twitter, I'm there for like the replies. Wow, what's going on? What happened? Okay. 2 buses just parked there, blew up, and the LAFD, the fire department spokesperson, says nothing suspicious seems to have happened. Remind me to keep my distance from the dozen or so buses parked in the lot behind the high school down the block. Huh. Well,
I got a new update that says 3 buses now.
How does that happen? It doesn't seem very...
Maybe they're just catching each other on fire. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they were stuck in traffic. Or maybe Kanye released his newest album. Moving on. NASA mission to space station goes horribly wrong. Never a Straight Answer says that a high-tech space capsule malfunctioned Friday morning during its first NASA mission, temporarily stranding the unmanned spacecraft in the wrong place and dealing a blow to Boeing, its developer. So I don't know if this is an actual picture from the event. It says, the failed launch is a setback for NASA as it scrambles to finish work on a pair of new spacecraft that the space agency wants for carrying astronauts to the ISS. The new capsules could finally end the American space program's long reliance on Russian capsules. So funny, they are shooting for this deadline to try to not have reliance on Russia again for this. Or basically they're coming up with a way to do it ourselves without using Russia. Obviously, if we have put them in adversary status, which we formally did, again, that we've literally put them as our enemy now. I mean, they've always been, but they changed their status to adversary. That means they can't really use them to go to space. Up in space, they have a peace treaty, right? It's supposed to be neutral in space, but not to get up there. So I wonder if that's any part of it. I don't know. You guys can tell me. Give me a call at 224-400-MARF. Boeing's CST-100 Starliner transport launched atop a 2-stage Atlas V rocket from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida at 6:36 a.m. The initial phase of the mission went according to plan. A few minutes after launch, NASA announced that the Atlas had completed its burn. United Launch Alliance, the Boeing Lockheed Martin consortium that provided the rocket, went on social media to boast of its success. Says, quote, "We had a successful launch and initial indications are that we demonstrated the launch vehicle test objectives, performance enhancements, and the mission-unique modifications developed for the safety of human spaceflight. And then it blew up." And it said, but it was soon apparent that the 15-foot diameter Starliner had screwed up. Starliner has an off nominal insertion. That sounds like better go get a test. But Boeing has spacecraft control. NASA announced the guidance and control team is assessing our next maneuver. It turned out that the 15-ton capsule, which is designed to operate mostly autonomously with very little interaction with the human crew, mistimed the firing of its maneuvering thrusters. The ill-timed burn gobbled up precious fuel. Now short on gas, the Starliner was not able to maneuver its way to the space station, NASA determined. It's safe to take off the table at this point, given the amount of fuel we burned. And that's Jim Bridenstine, by the way. That's the gentleman. He's in every freaking article about NASA. It says the good news for Boeing and NASA is that the Starliner, which has been in development since 2010 at a cost of more $4 billion. Hold on. $4 billion is safe where it is, orbiting 120 miles around Earth. Mission controllers expect to be able to land the capsule at a military missile range in White Sands, New Mexico, as early as Sunday. Okay. CNN exclusive whistleblower says U.S. airports becoming unsafe as TSA relaxes security measures in favors of speeding up lines. Isn't that kind of funny? TSA relaxes security measures. No way. Really?
And now buses are on fire at the airport.
Yeah, no, and we're not trying to say that that's why, because that's outside TSA.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are people mad at the other airports for not relaxing. With everything that's going on, who knows? It says a whistleblower with the Transportation Security Administration, the TSA, is sounding the alarm about loosened security at U.S. airports, charging that top TSA officials have prioritized speed over security by reducing the sensitivity of metal detectors, disabling technology on some X-ray machines, and issuing orders to keep the baggage conveyor belts moving in certain circumstances and ordering policy changes that result in fewer pat-downs. So they're trying to look good. They're like, oh, everybody approves of us. Get some good Google ratings, right? But yet, and don't you think that's kind of weird that doesn't that mean like they're kind of on their own? They're like letting more people go by real quick, kind of like, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Don't you find that a little weird? Like something might slip through right now while they're lax on it?
Right. I mean, I get it. It's the holiday season and the traffic is probably, very large at the moment, but yeah, it's they're leaving the door open, looks like.
So a whistleblower. So somebody was there and saw that it was bad enough to go blow a whistle on it. What were they trying to do? Were they told like, hey, just let more people go through, like don't do this? Just so you know, this part is kind of freaky to me. Reducing the sensitivity of metal detectors. Sorry, but none of us should have metal on us going through it. Like, I get it, the belt or whatever, but most people check their pockets and their belt and you put your thing through. If you walk through and you still have metal, like, what are they doing? That sounds like they were turning off metal detectors almost. Like, oh, yeah, go through. We have a Fantastic Freddy to do. Yeah, Danish says, that's not good at all. No, it's not. I bet not. And I don't think that... I think there's something weird going on with that, too. I mean, just super weird. All right, real quick, if you guys want to help us, we've got a couple more stories here. If you do want to help us with our channel, you can do so by actually getting a VPN from Nord. Now, again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN and protect yourself. With all of the cyber things we're talking about, it's all something that really can either be avoided or not happen at all if you can protect yourself with a virtual private network. I'm not going to go into detail. We're going to hit this very quickly tonight. But again, this actually helps our channel. And if you don't have one yet, my honest advice is you should have one. Again, it protects you. You can actually put yourself somewhere else. It prevents IP logging, no data logging. And it's actually, it's just something that every single computer savvy person has, especially nowadays with everything that goes wrong. So, with that being said, that's again marfooglenews.com/VPN. Millions sickened across America as flu season ramps up. It says the flu virus continues to spread across the U.S. with millions of illnesses estimated by the CDC. It says according to the CDC, an estimated 3.7 million people have had the flu already this year, with 32,000 requiring hospitalization. Nearly 2,000 people, including 19 children, have died so far, claimed the CDC. There is elevated flu activity in nearly every state, and 30 states report the virus as widespread. Now, it says here that the latest CDC #FluView shows that the number of U.S. jurisdictions experiencing high levels of #flu activity nearly doubled since last week to now, to include 19 states, Puerto Rico, and New York City. Find out if your state is one of them at this blah, blah, blah. You know, with these weird things, and they go, oh, look at this. Tamiflu and Xofluza and other antiviral medications have shown to be 99% effective against the flu viruses the CDC has tested. 99% effective. So I've seen these commercials for Xofluza. What is that, Dex? And it has commercials like, you're not yourself when you have the flu, and it shows like empty clothes, like sitting in a teacher's chair. What is Xofluza?
I have not seen that commercial, Adam, but that sounds.
I'm just a sack of clothes. I don't get it. Is it a pill you take to? It's like vitamin C like that you have to pay $500 for. I don't get it. Either way, Xofluza, they're doing these commercials, and they say that that your flu will be over sooner or whatever. I'm just like, what are they actually putting in us? Experts are encouraging people to get the flu shot if they still haven't. The vaccine is safe for anyone over 6 months of age. After getting the shot, it is recommended people cover their mouths and noses when coughing and sneezing, and washing hands regularly with soap and water, because even if you do get it, you'll still get the flu. It's useless. But it's got...
so what's the point?
Yeah, no shit.
I haven't had one of those since 2001.
I'm trying to remember the last one I did have. I want to say I was 13 years old. I'm 34. That's 20 years without a flu. Without a flu shot.
I haven't had the flu since then either.
I haven't either. No, I'm sorry. I had something that babies get. I had foot and hand thing like 7 or 8 years ago, and that was the closest thing I had to a flu. And I had some bad things, but never a flu. That's just some weird stuff. Satellite photos show work on NK site linked to long-range missiles. Well, no. NK has expanded a factory linked to the production of long-range nuclear missiles, according to a new analysis of satellite photos provided to NBC News, that bolsters a growing expectation the country soon will resume testing a capability that threatens the U.S. Commercial satellite images from the Planet Labs show a temporary structure at the site to accommodate the raising of a launcher arm, according to Jeffrey Lewis, Director of East Asia Non-Proliferation Program at the Middlebury Institute of International Studies. It says, quote, "We believe NK erects this structure when the facility is involved in producing or modifying ICBM launchers." Lewis concluded in written analysis using the acronym for really, they had to tell you. NK has expanded the March 16 factory in Pyeongchang, a facility associated with the production and modification of ICBM launchers. The March 16 factory produces both military and civilian vehicles. If you want to read the rest of this article, you can do so at marfooglenews.com. Do you need to say anything else on that or the previous one, Dex?
Sorry, Adam. No, I was talking to callers, and I'm good.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Without further ado, we're going to get to the phone calls. We have people already online. It looks like he's actually getting people right now. Perfect. All right. If you guys want to end up supporting the channel, you can actually get an EMP shield through us. We highly recommend it. marfooglenews.com/EMP. If you don't know what an EMP shield is, you should definitely check this out because honestly, EMP shield will end up saving lives. That's our opinion. Again, these guys work with the DoD, Homeland Security. You guys probably all know the rest. Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/EMP. If you are even somewhat of a prepper or someone who wants to be prepared in the event of anything, then you should definitely look at an EMP shield. It can protect against a CME and an EMP. Again, that's marfooglenews.com/EMP. They are the same people that, don't think that other people are going to protect you. Protect yourself. All right, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else who helps the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. So if somebody tells you to go to NK to get a flu shot, then you should probably check with a doctor on that. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. That is extremely important that we all call in and we get together and we talk about things. Happy Lula. That's a hallelujah with happy something. 100,000 subscribers. Thank you. Over on Marfoogle TV. Now, again, if you have not seen the other channel, for whatever reason, it's been stuck at 147. It's like, it'll go up to 147,999 and then go back down. It is at 147,000, so that is, of course, where this award came from. And now it's less about the trophy. Once you get to 100, you can verify your channel or you can apply for verification. If you're verified, it basically says, you've been on the platform, you brought in 100,000 people. It could protect us in the future if anything happens. We are super PG. I mean, we get out as much information as we can without swearing, without doing all that kind of stuff. I'm like the Will Smith of the truther crowd, and some people hate me, but we have fun here. If you want to share us, make sure to do so. You can go type in marfoogle.tv. If you tell anybody that, you can tell them on the street. Tell them Google marfoogle.tv. If they put marfoogle.tv or marfoogle.news, it will go directly to those channels. All right. With that being said, I'll just jiggle this around, spin it around in circles. Okay. Are we done? Are you done, Adam? Okay, so we'll figure it out bat time. We're gonna figure out a way to do that without offending maximum people. Discord, find your local state groups, Creators Corner, and Military Channel. Again, we have over 300 active and confirmed retired or active confirmed military in there. I do not even go in there. Sometimes we'll post questions, but again, that's just for you guys. Go to marfooglenews.com for that. And then if you are missing notifications, I saw a couple people in chat before the show. I actually told Dex, I said, hey, hop in there and tell them about notifications. Because We have notifications. If you go to marfooglenews.com, in the lower left-hand or the upper left-hand corner or the lower right-hand corner, depending on what browser, there's going to be a little bell that looks like this. And if you click on that bell, it will say, do you want to subscribe? And then it will say, are you sure? Do you want to subscribe all the time or some of the times? And then you go, all the times. And then they're like, okay, we'll get you, like, we'll hit you up. We'll notify you, dude. And then you'll be like, oh, cool. And then the bell will be like, oh, I'm clicked. And then you'll be like, oh, I've got all my notifications now because YT is a D. So that's how you do that. And then all of a sudden you're going to get 100% of notifications. If we do a crazy show or a awesome whatever live show or a broadcast, whatever it may be, you will get notified directly to your device, laptop, tablet. iOS is coming soon. So just so you know that iOS is coming soon. Go to marfooglenews.com for alerts and notifications. All right. Up next, we have, let's see here. First call we're going to get on is Ricardo. Ricardo. Hold on. Bet y'all... a PC patrol say that's not appropriate. It's 2020. That's stereotypical. Bam. Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. Is this Ricardo?
Yes, it is. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, so the moon/NASA and 5G calling from San Diego, California. What's up with that?
Yes, well, the moon and NASA is kind of the same thing. They're related. It's just something I'm watching with all these. Like you said, you don't like using the word conspiracy, but you know all the channels of with the same people talk about the relative things about NASA, about the moon, all these fake landings and all that. So my confusion and my question is, I mean, to you, I know you don't really believe in NASA, right? Or not a straight answer, right? They're kind of sketchy.
Well,
so my question
I don't believe in anything, really. I always ask questions. That's what we should do.
Exactly. Okay, my question is regarding not only yourself, but when people like all these investigators talk about NASA, about them not being, not legit, but not being up front with us. But when the subject comes, when we talk about like the pictures they taken by the rover or the satellite, why don't we ask the same question? Like, say, what are those fake? I mean, I never seen, like, I watch a lot of videos from YouTubers and all that, like Linda Moulton, Coast to Coast AM, George Norrie, and they never say, oh, it could probably also be fake. They take the pictures from NASA, or I'm sorry, they take the Mars pictures from the rover. They take them like consideration, like if they're real. What if it's all just fake?
Well, one thing I don't get is some of the things that they claim are real, and you're like, and then they say they're composite. Like obviously, a lot of people say the composite pictures of Earth. Because it's all the pieces of the Earth put together. That's why they say it's composite. It's thousands of pictures put together. But like a picture like this, right? I'm showing it on screen. Some people would assume that that's real, right? What is taking the picture if the rover is right there, right? The rover's taking pictures. What's taking a picture of the rover? This obviously it just looks like a computer generated image. But I know that there's images that look just like this. That almost looks like an Instagram or something made on a computer and then put on Instagram with a filter. No, I get you. But I mean, here's the thing. People can say all day, like, you can't believe anything that comes out of NASA. There's no pictures of planets. There's no nothing this. I mean, there are things that we can see with our naked eye, like Saturn, right? You have a good enough, I've seen it with a good enough telescope. You can see it. Is that like a poster board that's just kind of, it spins around, they have it on a stick? There's some big George Lucas out in space moving the stick. But I don't know. We only see one side of the moon. There's all these things. But yeah, that's why I don't believe in anything. I ask everything. that's what we should do, and we should talk about it and debate about it.
Yeah. I mean, good. Good answer. You're right on that. Another question before I run out of time is the 5G the 5G plan they have to build the grid around the world. It kind of relates. My question relates towards Cascadia, towards a grand solar minimum. I mean, the elite who know that what's perhaps going to happen. WW3. I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, if something's really, really going to happen like that, would 5G be implemented? Because it's worth. I mean, it's going to be billions of dollars just to implement it. So, if you know what I'm trying to say, is that like the world elite, they know what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to implement 5G.
Okay. So,
it doesn't make sense.
That's not assuming that 5G has multiple purposes. That's assuming that 5G doesn't have any ulterior motives, right? I've heard that a lot. They said, well, if the elites knew that it was going to be the end of the world, or if they knew that we were going to get in a conflict and be invaded or whatever, why would they spend all this money on 5G, and set up this huge infrastructure? Right. There's many players in this, and the companies doing it, the people that want to set up the 5G system, this is all part of the the big plan with Skynet and these chips, the Internet of Things. You're partly right, but when they say who's going to be left, there's still, even if we took out 2/3 of the Earth, we would still have a lot of people. And I bet you a lot of them would be in America in mega cities in Agenda 2030 housing. So I don't think it's that stupid, but look at the places that are having 5G. They're all the places where you also have maps of mega cities. And then all the other places have all these weird things. They could turn 5G into 15 different things. We've seen that millimeter wave spectrum stuff can do anything from be, weaponized and make people drop their stuff. It can manipulate water. It can manipulate blood. I mean, it can manipulate brain waves. So who knows what they're doing with 5G? Maybe that's part of it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that that's not a good enough reason to be like, oh, the elites could be making money off of the companies that are building 5G up until the very point where they die. I mean, look at who elites are. They'll make money up until the asteroid hits or until, something happens.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay. Hey, well, Mark, thank you so much.
Yeah, well,
thank you so much for asking my questions. Before I let you go, I'm just, wanted to know what do you think about Greta Thunberg? You think she's there unwillingly, or do you think somebody upfronted her? Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe somebody on the back end put her up front. Like
no, I think she's a teenager. I think she's a teenager and an actor. She kind of did something and thought it was cool. She got spotted by some scout, and she probably really did think, like, I like whales, and I like this, and I like that. But she only liked a couple things, and then they were like, oh, this girl's great. She's cute. She's passionate, whatever else. Let's grab her, put her on the world stage. If you look at the Tesla that she has, she trashed it with plastic. She's got all this stuff. She doesn't really, she did it to be, the next gen.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the video of her Tesla?
Yeah. You just reminded me. Yeah, you're right.
She had she had plastic, silverware, right? All sorts of stuff. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger gave her a Tesla. I forget which channel it was, but they actually saw the back seated and the front seat. She totally trashed her car. She's a little kid. She's a little kid that's being flown or sailed around the world to talk about something. She's a hypocrite. She's using all this climate contraband. So. Yeah, I know. That's the same reason I wanted to ask you, because the thing she's doing and the thing she says is kind of contradicting. So it's like maybe she's still young to act the way what she's saying. Maybe she doesn't even know what I don't know, man. We're just living crazy times right now. So we don't even know what to believe or what to know, who's controlling who or who's doing it legitly. You know what I mean? I agree, Ricardo. Well, thank you so much for calling in again. If this is. I would love to call you again. You did call before, so I'd love to talk to you again, okay?
All right, Mark. Thank you so much, man. Keep up the good work, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, man.
Merry Christmas to you. Bye-bye. Up next, we have Tom, who is a first-time caller, talking about vaccines and the flu and China. Let's see if we can be careful around that. The vaccines are one of the stickiest words out there. They like to stick you to the videos that nobody ever sees on the internet. That is weird. Bam. All right, we have Tom, first-time caller. What is going on?
Hey, what's up, Marv?
Nothing much. So you're calling from Ohio, and you want to talk about vaccines and the flu.
Yeah, I just real briefly on that point, I got so many topics to go over on that.
Oh, are you, make sure to listen to the phone, not the TV, okay?
Yes, sir.
I would just turn it
Turn that
off,
TV.
otherwise my delayed face will be annoying the heck out of you.
Oh, yeah, I turned it all the way off. Now I was trying to even need to look at it. All right. So, yeah, just don't take that shot. Just don't take it. That's crap. I've never took it. I've never really been sick. If I get the little sniffles, vitamin C.
No, I get you. And again, your opinion is your opinion. We have to be careful.
Correct. Yes, I just want to also do the disclaimer that, that this is my opinion. And free speech is being attacked. And, yeah. But, yeah, we're all under, let me say this word real careful. It's an operation, and it's a bird that mocks.
Okay, that I think you can say. Mockingbird, psychological operations. I think, yeah, psyops. I mean, that we've been born and raised in psyops.
Exactly. And the more the technology gets with our iPhones and our iPads and all this just really helps their operation.
Well, isn't it funny that a lot of the people, even in this space, probably in this chat room, we talk about, I guess we're all kind of hypocrites. It's kind of like, you know how Greta Thunberg talks about, saving the planet and being completely environmental. She's like the role model for even older people. But yet she's got plastic silverware, junk, just a bunch of things that would kill turtles in the backseat of her car. We talk about 5G and technology, and we're all on our phones, our tablets, our iPhones. We've got Siri. We've got Ring cameras. We're a bunch of hypocrites.
And 5G just may be fake news.
You mean like the whole story itself? Like we're all, tripping about something that's nothing, or?
Yeah. If you really just don't pay attention to anything and just trust your gut. I daydreamed in school, so I always got in trouble for not turning my homework in on time and all that crap. I'm about to turn 45, and my nieces and my nephews, they're all like, this new math and what the hell?
Not teaching cursive.
Right.
It's like they
1
don't.
plus 1 is 2. There's no new math. There's none of that. So I think we need to listen to what our kids are being taught in school and really take a look at it and step back and see what they're really actually doing to it.
Can I ask you, have you seen a kid do new math? Have you seen how complicated it is? I guess they say it's easier. You have to do like 10 other steps. They're trying to make the average. I guarantee you, they don't teach new math at private border schools that are going to Harvard, right? I don't think they would, right? Do you guys think so?
No.
I think it's really weird.
Yeah, it's just really weird, and the way they're teaching our kids, I just think that they're brainwashing them, and it goes back to the Operation Mockingbird and everything that they're trying to throw into our mind. And these are the channels that we need to watch. And congratulations, by the way. I got that down in my notes. Congratulations on the 100,000 on the Marfoogle TV.
It's huge. So thank you. No, I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Yes. And go ahead.
No. You go ahead. You got a list of things, and it sounds like you actually wrote down a list to get through the calls. So that's awesome.
Yeah, because I was just doing this by the seat of my pants. I didn't have a video or nothing crazy like that. But I just wanted to hit on the topics that you're talking about tonight. I thought that would be amazing. And I did want to throw in the word Merry Christmas to everyone in the Marfoogle family.
That's probably a filtered word now. So
we can look. It is probably filtered. Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. I'll say that. I won't ever stop saying that. Okay.
Right. We can't do that, or they win. And like I said, I'm from Ohio, and this comes from the people that are not ever heard, and that's why we support T-Man.
I get your drift. I get your drift.
Yeah, I with the process of government. Now, like I said, I daydreamed in school, but that was in the younger years. But I did pay attention to history and government. And government was mandatory to pass to get your diploma. So I don't understand why people don't understand what impeachment is. That just gets me.
Yeah, they thought that we no longer had a president. Yeah. A lot of people were celebrating waking up and T-Man's not our president anymore. I'm so happy. And then like 50,000 tweets, hey, idiot, he's still the president. That was classic.
Like, go back and read your, like, how did you pass government? Like, really?
How are you the leader of a protest group protesting a president and you don't even understand the basic politics? It kills me. When I put that tweet out, that was one of the most, retweeted tweet because it makes sense. Don't protest if you don't know anything about it.
I think anybody that protests, you're really not really doing your job on any side. You're not really thinking about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's steps you can take before the protest. And I don't like protest. I don't like violence. And I think everybody needs to slow down a little bit and just take a step back and just look at the words that are being said. And you have to look at these words and you have to determine what these words really mean.
Yeah, no, I think that you're looking at it under the right light. People in the chat, somebody mentioned Project Looking Glass. A lot of people have been talking about that lately. Let's see. Somebody mentioned participation trophies. Yeah. The way that things are going right now, it's not looking good for anybody. I don't get how people don't realize how important some of these things are. The little things that are all adding up as far as society and the way that we are offended by everything. We can't speak our mind because it's the peer-to-peer, the mob mentality. You don't want to step out and say something. There's not as many trailblazers as there used to be. And then the trailblazers that are trailblazing, they are considered, freaks, and they are shunned and actually banned from places of speech. And I mean, it's crazy. So
Yeah, just a little thing. My dad, he was in the military, and he was telling me how bad Trump was, and he kept going on and on and on. I'm like, Dad, will you please stop and think about it just for a freaking minute? Operation Mockingbird. You've been brainwashed by CNN or MSNBC or whoever you're listening to. You're being brainwashed. And
Well,
he just looked at me.
Go ahead.
And I said, I can't believe you're being duped by this. It's just plain and simple. When you look at this, these people are nuts.
Well, one of our mods is actually somebody who only watched CNN. A good friend of mine, West Virginia Prepared Mind. She watched CNN, all that, and then I guess one of the kids was watching YouTube, and then she ended up saying, "Oh my gosh, there's videos on YouTube." She didn't know there was other videos on YouTube. She thought, "Oh, there's kids videos or something." Then she saw me in the recommended. She ended up clicking. She ended up first. I think West Virginia. You can say yourself, but I think the first couple episodes you said that you thought it was dumb. You're like, because you said you were brainwashed by CNN. But then she opened up, and now she's like, she's digging, deep into these rabbit holes all over the place. So yeah, I get you. Well, Tom, it was nice talking to you. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go, or somebody you want to shout out?
Hey, I love you guys, and I always watch, and thanks for having me on tonight. And I know you got to get on, and we know the 5-minute rule. Merry Christmas to everyone in the Marfoogle family, and I'll talk to you guys later. All
right, you have a great night, Tom. Good night. Up next, we have Burn Time. Burn Time. Burn Time, you are live on Marfoogle TV. You want to talk about Cascadia in the year 2025?
I do. How are you?
Good. So that's 2025. Are you talking about Deagle?
That is part of it, definitely. So I know you're younger than I am, but just a weird coincidence. Back in about 1993, Montel Williams, I don't know if you know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
Had a talk show, and he used to have a psychic come on named Sylvia Brown. I don't believe in all psychics, but I do believe some people have, gifts. And out of nowhere, this is over 30 years ago, she made a comment, and she said, life as we know it will change in the year 2025. Never said why, what. It was just that simple. And then you came up, I seen you bring up that Deagle report, and I couldn't help but think about that. Then I see Naughty Beaver looking at Nostradamus, who pinpointed our planetary alignment and our magnetic flip right now. And then you go over to the Bible, and it's talking about, the weather happening in places it wouldn't happen. And I was just curious, is anyone else out there thinking maybe 2025 might be when the Cascadia really kind of pops?
Well,
that would change life as we know it.
To put on a date on it, Cascadia by itself wouldn't exactly change all of life, but if Cascadia triggered Yellowstone and both happened at the same time, like how it ends on Netflix, that creeps me the hell out. That they did that video, and you see that they are on, they're in New York. The power goes out. The power goes out in New York. And I'm not trying to spoil that movie for anybody, but if you go to Netflix and watch how it ends, it's a big budget film. And in New York, the power goes out. And he goes, well, but the earthquake was on the West Coast. How did that happen? And it's very crazy because then all of a sudden the daughter of, Forrest Whitaker and this guy's girlfriend is in Seattle. They go, well, we have to get over there. So the whole movie is them driving to Seattle, trying to find if the girl's okay. The girl ends up being like right outside of Seattle city limits. The earthquake totally destroys Seattle, totally destroys the West Coast. And as they're driving through, the earthquake, the volcano starts going up. So they basically show you
Yes.
that the West Coast is wiped out, Yellowstone ends up, going off and completely destroys everything. And that sets off everything else. And then they also show Aurora Borealis. They show the Aurora Borealis in that movie, and it's just really freaky because you don't understand why the power goes out, and it almost seems like a CME triggers the earthquake and triggers the volcanic activity, and then that does a winter around the entire Earth. I mean, like, that movie super creeps me out. Now, what we're talking about with Deagle, and I just want to explain to everybody because a lot of people probably don't know what we're talking about. They say that this is based on a bunch of real information. Specifically, it scared the crap out of people. They do a disclaimer down here, and they say the majority of the economic and demographic data used in the making of the forecast is widely available by institutions such as CIA, IMF, UN, United Nations, USG. So they use all of this really main, huge, all these organizations' data. And for whatever reason, all of our allies' population go down. Look at this. China's goes down just a tiny bit, like 30 to 32,000. Ours goes, the USA goes down from 326 million people. That is the current population in the United States to 99 million people. 2/3 of our population disappear by 2025. That's 5 years from now. What happens?
I know, and that's like right. That 5 years is going to fly by, and I just see the weather getting crazier and things just the volcanoes and it's very odd to me that anybody reporting on volcanoes, Yellowstone, they get banned immediately, while you have news stations on YouTube that say every word they're not supposed to, but they're still there. But if you talk about the weather, you're gone. But I just I find it odd, and everything's, because I'm in California, and I just thought, I wonder if any of it, going all the way back to the Bible and Nostradamus, all these different people, if maybe that might be when, things start to rock and roll on the earth, in nature, And I was just wondering, am I the only one thinking that, or is anybody else thinking, maybe there's something to that?
You're closer to my belief, and I wanted to show people too, just so you see this: France, Canada, South Korea, Netherlands. There's almost all of them, and then, by the way, this one's just down by like 1,000. Almost all of these are allies that go down in population. Why? And then our enemies are going up in population. It's just so weird because they actually do use real data, and all of this data goes into this thing. The World Health Organization put out how all of the countries are going to be affected through a possible pandemic. And again, all the enemies didn't do well. So it's like we served them up a pandemic and we got served up with nukes or something. I don't know what is going on, but they know something is coming. And I feel like I lean more towards like what you're saying. I feel like there are some things going on, and in a short time period.
Oh, for sure.
Why do we have to get to space by 2024? Like, why were all these weird 2024 deadlines that we hit governmentally? It's just weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. So, that was just, because Mary Greenlee, when she started saying things a year or so ago about what they are going to be doing up in Yellowstone, they started unsubscribing her followers, and anybody that talked about it, they were, putting their channels down. And then here we are, everything she was talking about actually happened. So it's just like, to me, it's just kind of weird. It's like, maybe that's kind of pointing more towards a natural disaster. And the first one I thought of was the Cascadia. And to me, it will pop off Yellowstone and every volcano in between there in California. So I was just wondering if anybody else was seeing all these things kind of pointing to the, from the Bible to, I just all the way through, a lot of things are kind of pointing to that kind of natural type of thing. So that's it.
Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. And as far as Cascadia and everything else, they talk about quakes in various places, and everything is like starting to line up. It's just nuts. Well,
yes.
Burn time.
You have a great holiday. Go ahead.
No, you go. You say that first.
I was just going to say, have a great holidays. Be safe. And that's really it.
All right. Well, thank you. Burn time. Amazing woman here. Thank you so much for calling in. Oh, and then, by the way, do you have a train right next to you?
Do I have a what?
Can you hear the train from your house?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard the...
I have trains. The horns.
Yeah, I can hear it.
There's trains right by us.
It's spooky. Hopefully it's not a grain train. All right. You have a good one.
No, it's not. Okay, you too. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Just wanted to quickly shout out Naughty Beaver. By the way, Naughty Beaver is just a really good guy in general. I don't think I agree with everything 100% because I can't keep up with all of his theories, but his prophecy stuff, he covers a lot of prophecy. I think the only thing, there was one thing that I just disagreed with. I wasn't like a mad thing. It was like it was something I didn't know anything about. He talks a lot of stuff that it's way above my head. But he talks about prophecy and Nostradamus and all sorts of stuff. But either way, it's great to, listen to somebody that you don't know. And then Mary Greeley is the other one. I'm going to pull up her channel as well. Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. Is this Matt?
Yeah. Hey, buddy. What's up?
Matt and AZ. Let's see here. Okay, now you said you want to talk about the flu and reaction, and you've got photos. What's going on with this?
So my girlfriend's kid ended up getting the flu type A and B, and he also had this weird rash. And before we knew all that, I was like, oh, crap, could this be dengue? Could it be Ebola? So, no. Said that word, my bad.
This looks like foot.
Thankfully, the test came back negative for those, but they ended up giving him the Tamiflu or whatever that anti-flu drug is or whatever. And he ended up going to bed that night and non-responsive the next day.
What?
They took him in. It turns out he was allergic to whatever's in that crap they gave him.
This looks like foot and hand disease. This looks like what I had a long time ago.
Yeah, it's called arrhythmia multiforme, I guess. He's still not out of the woods, and he's still got the flu on top of that crap. But we don't know where he got it. But the thing that's scary about that disease is that it can, if it goes major instead of minor, whatever that means in medical terms, I don't know, but it could actually cause pretty severe internal bleeding. So he's not out of the woods yet, but he's doing much better.
Oh, that's scary. Oh, I'm asking for anyone who would like to send positive vibes, or anyone who's like me, to please pray for Matt and AZ's girlfriend's son. This is really scary stuff. The internal bleeding part scares me.
Renee and the prayer group, we've all been praying like crazy. Yeah, it's
Renee
been
Thomas.
Helping, and yeah.
Oh man, what's scary is I had that. I had this exact same thing. I got lucky it wasn't on my face, but apparently it can cover your face. It was one of the worst.
It was everywhere.
Oh, all of these little dots, by the way, feel like a thumbtack pressed into your hand or foot. Yeah, that's how it feels. Does he describe? And you see his thumb, the thumb picture right here? The skin is like gone. And
it peels off. It's horrible.
Yep, and every inch
of
that
he had it
feels
on
like
his
a
junk.
pin.
I mean, all the sensitive spots he had it. It was pretty bad.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but he's doing better, just taking it easy, obviously not going to school, so he's totally stoked about that. But
well, it's very contagious, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
But
nuts.
yeah, just everybody, wash your hands, keep yourselves clean. Not that he's a dirty kid, but
No,
it's just,
trust me,
know.
I wash my hands obsessively. I got that, and none of my
Oh,
kids
yeah.
got it. Nobody else around me got it. That's what didn't make sense.
exactly same here.
And they didn't know what it was at first. It was so weird. They were like, "No, you can't have foot and hand disease because you're a grown up." I was like,
Yeah, that's tight. Well,
but apparently it's
my
super
stepbrother
rare.
got it too when he was 20.
Yeah, it's super rare
Yeah.
for an adult to get that. But yeah, it was most painful thing that I've ever had. Well,
Yeah, he says it feels like his skin's on fire. It's
yeah,
ugh, it just crappy.
and little needles every time you touch anything. If you've ever had if you've had a what do you call it? A sliver. Imagine thousands of slivers all over every piece of your body. That's how reactive every little nerve is because it's like going into your nerve. It's crazy. All right. Well,
Yep.
Matt, is there anything else you wanted to say or you wanted to shout out?
Congrats on 100K, buddy. Looking forward to bubble bath time, and Merry Christmas to everybody in the fam, and thanks for the positive vibes. And
you stuck around.
Everybody have a good Christmas.
By the way, you did video you've seen me. I got trolled really bad for a while. I mean, you've been around for a long time,
yeah.
so I just want to thank you for kind of staying neutral the whole time and seeing it through because obviously, I mean, the truth always usually comes out. So
yeah, of course. I try not getting sucked into that kind of stuff. I got my own problems to worry about,
Yeah. Well, you're a cool dude. Check out. We'll have your link on the website, just like everyone else's on marfooglenews.com. Thanks, Matt. You have a great night. Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Bye bye.
You too.
Again, when you go to marfooglenews.com, you'll actually see down below all of the links of all the callers. If they have a website, if they have a YouTube channel. Matt and AZ does have a YouTube channel. He posts a lot of videos like the power plant. He saw extra power converters there. All right, now we've got our next caller, Matthew. So that was Matt and AZ. This is Matthew. Matthew, you're live on Marfoogle TV. What's going on?
How you doing, brother? I just called in real quick to bring to your attention a video. It's I think Dex gave you the title of the video.
Pulling it up right now.
Smallstorm. It's an independent researcher named Sophia Smallstorm. This documentary is actually from 2011, and I'm not even going to get into the details of the video for the sake of the security of the show. It's pretty heavy. I just wanted to throw it out there so maybe you guys can check it out. And
so is this first of all, anytime they have a Wikipedia underneath it, it's got to be good. It says from sea trails to pseudo life, the dark agenda of synthetic biology. So this is cool. Is it a full length? It's an hour and 8 minutes. That's cool. That's something I like to watch.
Yes, sir. It man, it's wild. It's wild. And it is dark. So, but it's got so much stuff that if I don't even want to talk about it on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to link this video so you guys can all access it at marfooglenews.com. Otherwise, of course, you can freeze frame it and type this in. I'm going to show you the channel here, Super Delta Bravo 1, all one word. And then again, from Sea Trails to Pseudo Life, the Dark Agenda and Synthetic Biology, full-length video. So, is there anything else you wanted to say before you go, or anything that you wanted to say?
Oh, that's it, man. Just bless everybody in Jesus Christ, and just bless everybody, man. That's it.
All right,
That's
that is super cool. All right, well, thank you for calling in, Matthew. Everybody, give Matthew a hand. All right, have a good night. And then hold on. All right, you guys. So, let's see here. All right, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Hey, Adam, how you doing, buddy?
Good. So let's see here. We've got Awakened Alliance, and you want to talk about Virginia. Okay, what's up with this?
Yeah. I live in Southwest Virginia, on the border of Tennessee and Kentucky to my left, and the Carolinas to my right. And, luckily we have some pretty good leadership down this way. I have kinfolk actually in the government. Israel O'Quinn is our representative. Wait a minute, I have to think of his title.
So what happened? What happened with this? As a local there, what happened? They just said, "Hey, we're going to start taking your weapons." Is that what happened?
That's pretty much what it boiled down to. That's everything I could gather. I've got links on my phone, but I can't send them and talk at the same time. But I will post them in Discord. I'll be in there sometime or other. Hey, I'm a long-time listener. I've been with you since I couldn't tell you how long.
It says that. By the way, this is one of the headlines by your local stuff. It says Virginia governor to force people to register firearms, and that's how he'll know what to confiscate. Wow.
Right. Yeah. It's ridiculous. So I've seen some channels reach out to the guard, to the state National Guard.
How this shall not be infringed. How are they even doing this?
It's ridiculous. How the governor up north, he's trying to enact it, but there's more state. We've all voted sanctuary for it anyways, and I've seen forms of everybody's getting together and forming let's call them neighborhood watches, and just trying to get together and prep and keep it together.
I think it's nuts. This is the most just blatant thing I've ever seen. This is the Constitution here, and doesn't matter what state or what little thing that. What are you talking about? This isn't. Are you kidding me? He'll literally pass a law so it will be illegal. So then all of a sudden, all these law-abiding citizens who are following the law, who haven't gone and shot anybody, all of a sudden they're going to be breaking the law. Or if they follow the law, they'll go register their weapons, and then they'll get them confiscated, which is them breaking the law. This is
correct.
Absurd.
Correct, and I know.
Wow, sir, I'm sorry that you live in that state right now. I know you're probably proud to live there.
Area.
That's not okay.
Well, yeah, some of the last great battles of the Civil War was fought here. Kings Mountain, it's just right over in Tennessee, and on the other side of me is Saltville. They fought over the salt mines there.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there, so you might have another one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It unfortunately, I hope not. I hope I've reached out to all the military members I know that are still in. Most of the guys I know are already out. And, just trying to get some backing from them.
Can I ask, are the militias really arming up there? Is that really true?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've all got guns. We all grew up with them. Our granddaddies fought with them. We still got them. It's just, I hope it don't come to that. Nobody wants violence. Nobody wants violence. But you can't come take our guns. You can't. We hunt with them. Well,
you guys are going to set an example for the rest of the country. If it happens there and you guys let it in one of the, that's Virginia.
I know.
You're sitting on civil war
state.
territory.
Yeah. There is. I need to put some links up on my channel. There's I don't have anything on there right now but music, but I need to put some links up. I have bukus of links that I need to turn loose to actually we've got all kinds of states backing us.
Oh, I knew it sounds like a movie. It sounds like a movie called Brooklyn, or what was that movie? Dex, I don't know if you remember the movie. It was about a city in New York, and all of a sudden, it's a kind of a B movie, but it gets taken over, and all of a sudden they're like, "Who is this? What country is this?" And they're like, "It isn't. It's us." And it was like, 7 states teamed up against the other states, and it was literally like they were taking them hostage. Does anybody know what it's not Brooklyn? It's something called. It had one of the professional wrestlers. It had a professional wrestlers in there.
It probably had Triple H in it. I don't know the name of it though.
I can't think of it either. If somebody thinks of it, it starts with a B. Either way, you guys got to watch that movie, because even though it wasn't like top dollar, Bushwick. Right. Thank you, Bushwick. Watch that on Netflix. Yeah. It's another
Bushwick. Okay, I'll do that.
It shows in it.
I try not to watch too much TV. I YouTube more than anything.
Well, I think it's a heads up, man. I think that movie's a heads up. Well, thank you for calling in, Awakened Alliance. And we will put your channel on there if you gave him the link for it.
All right. I didn't give him the link, but I can send it somehow.
Oh no, that's fine. Dex is already on it.
Just come to my channel. I'll be in the chat. It's just music. Check out my most viewed. That's my best stuff.
All right.
If you don't care.
No, we don't.
All right,
We're going to link your channel, okay? We're going to put it on the website. Awakened Alliance. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'll keep you informed and up to date as I can.
All right. Thank you so much. Dex, the whole thing with Virginia, this is so nuts. Like, we've been talking about this for a couple days now. But, like Lisa Haven and some other folks are covering this pretty hardcore. And they're saying, like, this is going to be the beginning of a conflict just in our country over this. And honestly, it very well could be. Do you imagine? I mean, like, this is setting an example for the rest of the country. If they let it happen, or even if they fight back and lose, this is a big deal for all of us.
Absolutely. Either side, it's going to set an example. And it's a hot topic, one that we don't want to see come to a head. And it looks like somebody's going to force it right now.
I mean, just in general, this is the scariest time we've ever had on all fronts. So, what are we going to do about this, though? We need to get bigger and bigger and bigger as far as working together. We need to, all of the people in this space, and I mean, my brothers and sisters that do these same kind of shows, we need to gather. We need to get together. That's why we started the Discord, to get people in, to prepare for things. People are meeting. I really want to encourage you guys, if you guys start meetings, if you have a city or state and nobody started a meeting yet, and you have a bunch of people in your Discord group, in my group, start one. Meet somewhere. Meet at a park. People are afraid to meet new people, but honestly, all of the meetings that I have done via Skype, everybody's having fun. Everybody's like, the general environment of all of our meetings that are going around all across the country is like, people are very chill. They come and hang out. One thing, I've noticed, some people go all out. They buy food. They bring full servings. What about just meeting and saying what's up, saying hi, meeting for 30 minutes, getting to know each other first, like meet multiple times and meet these people, because at some point you might need them. You might have to stand beside them and go out of a trench with them. No joke. That's what's crazy. If we get prepared way, way down the road, we're going to be good. So think about that, and think about that knowing that we get a lot of information at this channel. All right. Dex, do you have anything else to say about any of these?
Yeah, we had some really great callers tonight. A lot of good information, and I'm going to get some of it, everything loaded website momentarily. So anybody that's looking for that, looking for the channels, looking for the links, that'll be up there probably within about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay.
All right, perfect. Well, now it is officially time for me to make a complete fool out of myself. It's not an outro, and it's not a shout-out. It's a shoutro. If you've never been here for this part, after we talk about all the scariest things that keep us up at night, I freestyle all of your names and sing a song of satisfaction to the world. Hope you stick around for the after party. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.
Keeping them classy, Anita Torres, Team Somebody, S. Woods and the Lorena, Teresa Johnson, TGS Sauce, BZ and the Poetry Source, and the All Weekend, everyone with the Debbie Rogers. Gotta go back now. Oh, yeah. I've got my Dorothy riding. Galactic Sunflower with my Glenda Turner and my Kel with my Earthworm Jim. Julie Size, I'm alright. Going on a Lisa, somebody collate you. Got to a Miss Skunk with my Johnny Triskellon with the J. Mary, Ashley Marshall, Crystal Starch in the light mode, Sherry, and that wide awake and angry. JT Rogers gonna bring it down now. Deplorable Dave Micro, 100%, 100 subscribers, yeah. Nerdy art and the big dipping with the poetry from the heart. Don't let them take your guns now. Don't let them take your guns now. Thank you for being here. 100 wouldn't be possible without you. It seriously wouldn't.
You want to know what's going on?
If you want to go to the website, marfooglenews.com, you will see that we have everyone's information down below. It is getting put on there as we speak. We have the tweets. We have the tweets. Thank you to everyone that has stuck with me thick and thin. They dragged my name through mud, but they couldn't get me dirty. They, as you would say, did not catch me riding dirty. Because I'm so clean. Where are they now? I did a search. I can't find it. They couldn't catch me riding dirty. Thank you to everyone here tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Everybody walking down, coming back down, wanna hear that sound. More food and everything too. Don't wait, y'all, in those big crowds, 'cause we would not be able to do any of this without you. So I appreciate each and every one of you that contributes, that sends me emails, that sends me things. I'm going to be shouting out a couple channels tomorrow that sent me awesome stuff, including Maya. Thank you so much, Maya.
I've barely spoken. Your words have been so broken. I've been under your hypnosis. Why did I sip that potion? I'm so done with holy ghosting. My birth, it is an omen. Lay me down up in the ocean until you see no motion. Right now I can barely focus. I'm showing
Oh, and don't forget, if you have to, make sure you check out my friends, Edge of Wonder, Homegrown USA, and, of course, Red Pill 78. Great guys with great hair. I don't know why I said the last part. Maybe I said the last part because I'm feeling good. Here's 100. That 100. Oh, yeah, honey. That 100. Baby, thank you all. Oh yeah, let's do it now. Oh yeah, my sweet rise and my Denise pie. Cause I'm a ball in the brew baker with my tongue woods and my zip shakers and my KC unknown's gonna get jiggy with the drew in the music. Robert Promiser, Earthworm Jim, you've been around a long time. L. Michelle Smith, EO2 Dave, Linda Hernandez, Chasing Life, Amara Kiwi and Callie Too Cool, and Teresa K. The Walking Carpet Galactic Review. Lorena, Canada. And that ain't no Batman. That's Bruce Wayne. Saying blah blah. Kappa child, I'm about to go. Hey now, watch it, child. Bring that nutty eye. Go and play the part. Oh, that night jail going down and do it. No stop. That key suck can't go back. No stand. You awake. I'm well. What in the world, true? And Timberlake, me run a war. What's that, she runner? Watch him run. That's how you girl. As if shaver and that door and pie. Galactic sun out. And that catty wire. And that ass refusion there. Mosquitoes and butterflies top of life. That Laura Turner and the rest is right. You better watch that history and casual preparedness will get you so fine now. Oh, hey, 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 hey! Oh, hey, just wanna slow it down forever. I'm better. I'm better and I'm just going back. I didn't. It was 100,000, but I am going to do that now. God is great. Adam, thank you for all you do for Morgan. Woman of Wonder, Apple, Google, and Amazon have partnered together to forge a collaboration over smart home standards. EO2 Dave, can you handle the truth? And can you handle the truth? Chris Rom, where we go one, we go all. EO2 Dave, why not send robots to Mars first? They can build Instructor or even the moon. Idiots in charge, cruise ships are hazmat conditions waiting to happen. Joey Lasky, Merry Christmas to Marfman and the Dexter. Edward Braun, thank you. You the man. And Colleen Luce Wilson, Marv sending you info via Discord tomorrow. And in case you haven't seen them, we'll explain a lot of what's going on. Big C777. Hoof slung dung, live long and prosper, Marv. You are just fine, mate. Homegrown USA, congrats 100K. Much love. Sully's World, welcome to the channel. Elmo Smiles, thank you for wearing that flannel. Alex Carr, to help buy an EpiPen ornament. Merry Christmas, man. Susan Donahue, thank you for sticking through everything that happened to me. Thank you. Adam, I'm super proud of you and your pit crew. Much love. From Susan Donahue. Kevin Foogle fam, oh damn, Merry Christmas. Ask good looking on every one of thing you do, Foogles, all in one word. Thank you for saying that. I should have censored. Heavenbound 813, 10K, Love Mob, woot woot, love to Adam Dex J. And the Asamods, Merry Christmas, y'all. ML, saving the day. Lynn Love and Light, thank you for the super chat. And Venatio Potasio Viroxpit. Hey man, haven't been seeing you since last night. Evening, Morphia. Congrats 100K and Merry Christmas, y'all. Final stage, Justice, 100K, Love Mob, everyone. Thank you for saying that again. Mark Sketch, thank God for Discord. Otherwise, I would never have known about your show tonight. Even now, I still haven't received anything and I'm watching your show, ATM. Nikki and Hickavoy, congrats on 100K. Who Flung Dung, Morph, remember the tiara and bubbles. Thanks, Who Flung Dung. Yes, I do remember the bubbles. We'll figure it out. And 1 Corinthians 15:1-4 believe says, do not do the bathtub pose. People will unsub. People should have a sense of humor, but don't worry. We will do it in a way that people aren't offended, which is probably being covered completely in bubbles without a tiara, because that's making fun of feminists. Feminists. PZ, thank you so much. Sandra Festerling, Kenneth Kilvington, Kathleen Sims, thank you so much. Colleen Luce Wilson, INL also does some of the appointed judges are the GWs, and could be how the N-Hide laws could become real. And yes, Matt in AZ, hey buddy, great show, congrats on the red pill. Yes, I see. Who Flung Dung, thank you for reminding me. I am, for Siamese for me, got to bring it so clean. Blue Alien 47, got to go see with the able body. American custom diecast vehicles gonna, oh. Don't Marfoogle your wife in public because that's not okay. Robert Neal and Anita Torres, happy day. Holly Buzzkirk, you are so funny. Jonathan Esparza, thanks for coming with it. John Nelson, don't retract it. People are so offended nowadays no matter what you do. So if I don't wear the tiara, they're gonna wear it. And if I do wear the tiara, then I'm supporting the unicorn wearing
new age gatos. LCBGGG, LBG. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Northern Tiger, Linda Hernandez, and Love Pugs 05. Thank you. Caffeine Soldier and Alvin Alston, thank you. Rebel Snarful and Fuggle Brian Highlands, thank you. Calamity Rain and Nerdy R. And Dax J. Thank all of you for coming. You know what time it is right now? We're gonna tell you. We're gonna bring it on home. We're gonna make it all tonight. We're gonna get them loony sparkles. Hey, what's up, Duggan? What's up, Randy Newman? It's all about that Maury Christmas. Got down Robert Krober Jr. to thing. Mr. Peanut, congratulations, Mark. It's subatomic, mom atomic. Get me down, get him bombing. Hey, Sarah Lewis, thanks you for being everything that you be doing. Sheila Sutherland, hi. Reading the gospel, okay. Nerdy Art, reading the gospel. And Bruce Wayne. Crystal Stotts, Elite Tomb, and Jen Starr. This is my screen name. Gotta bring it back. Hey, Mike on the old life, huh? Gotta bring it back. Hey, Rip Curl, Summer Ellis, and Luna Sparkles 1. Gotta slide that guitar in and have us some fun. Hey, H Sunset and Amy Holly, and we're gonna do everything Joe Blow and able body want us to. Ooh. Hey, hey, hey. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Tom Wolf, oh whoa. Of course I will. Vividness and Vivi's mess, I get it down. Shastina gonna write it all around. Teresa Johnson and Byron Highlands, Bobby Williford and JMC. Oh, 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 oh. I'm gonna rhyme it with DJ Digital Ghost. Oh yeah. Daniel Joseph. Jojo, I like me for me. Kathy Paina. B.O.D. You know what time it is? It's Fearless time, and we're going to bring it back right now. I wish I could do everything that you should. Hey, Stinger B, will you be with me? And when I hit 1,000,000 subs, hey, Swift bye. Hey, Pollywog, will you be with me when I hit 1,000,000? Or will you be gone? I have no sauce from when I started, and if they hear, they usually my minds. Hey, Birdbanger and Shastina, will you ever leave me? Probably. But Daniel Joseph wants you see Cryptic 21 and Bravo standing by me. Marry on. Don't you ever see me leaving you? No, I'll be standing by you, bringing you the truth. Every single day, dropping that truth bomb. And getting you with the Gen Star Productions. Gonna go with that Kathy White. I got a lucky ticket too. I'm gonna bring you with that Hulu. Hey, Charles Kelly, will you sleep for me an extra minute or two? Go and press that snooze and go. See that it's all about you, not on me. Jojo, I like me for me. And that old rider, you better ride for me. And your Roberta, put the sunglasses on for me. And that Cherry Bull 65, get that buns and get that. Hey, JF and the dog, and go bring it back like you going in the fun. Robert Crowbar Jr., do what you do. Let's hit that 1 million. Hit that 1 million. Hit that 1 million. Hit that 1 million dollars. Hit the $1 million humble, hey. Gonna hit this up in a Sunday. Hey, done, get it on, hey, yo, man. Gonna go back now, you got a hoof long down. Gonna go boom, boom, hot as to be. Coming back round, and you know we be see. Oh, 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 oh. It's okay, my Billy, go somewhere else and drink your beer, get silly, and the Charles Anderson go with sliding, and go with Glenn Snyder, go and riding.
Thank you all for supporting. This is 105 Point Funky Marf. Getting it free. Namawasti. You talking about? Namiwasti, what you talking about? It's all about that swift bar. It's all about that height at 12 and the nerdy R. If I was the Susie Q and the Rose Vanessa of the crew, then I would be my Trinity Red or Blue Pill High Ho Kermit the Frog here. Oh yeah. Said it in one breath, I'm proud of myself. Oh yeah. Said that Louis Price says good night y'all. Good night y'all. And now Bruce Wayne, you gotta be so funky, yeah. You hit it back and go back. You're not in China, so Virginia, you can say hi to Kathy behind us. Big shotty 12, if you come for it, we go back now. I've got a shot for it, and I got a 45 with your confiscation, with your name on it, yeah. We've got 45ers all across the United States, ready for your confiscation, ready for your confiscation. You ain't taking it, we taking you to the bank, yeah. The bank ain't open on Sundays. Warning attack on the radio, headed turtles in drag racing land. And you know that we've got Earthworm Jim to protect us. Oh. And O'Brien Wood rings of our crew with the puppet minds and the rip curl. Does it even matter anyway? Servicing a low IQ. Instructed to give you one more chance. Action message. Clear the chat. Well done, Bible changing. Maybe I'm Billy. Comment back with the looking glass. And that Tom Wolf, you Jew, got up your hat. With that Julie Pierce and the Alice Crawley. Just wanna observe that Mr. Richard Borba, Kevin Smith and me are big kicking it outside on 7-11. That was a Jay and Silent Bob reference.
You got a homie, Marf. You got a This ain't lapping, this is Lego. Lego my ego. This ain't Lepo de Lebanon. This ain't Libra de Lebanon. Oh yes, we be getting on. Taking you to church, coming back from every time that we go back, we got the everybody to thank us with the barefoot last we go back, we got the basso sticky back print gonna bring it back like it doesn't matter, gonna bring it back like the name doesn't matter. Hey my lord, and you know it's so cold. Gina H. Otto, only I got to be with you, lucky ticket too. Lucky ticket too. A big special thank you to Woman of Wonder, EO2 Dave, Chris Rom, God is Great, Who Flung Dung, Lucian Gray, Keep Up the Good Work More, Oregon Farm Girl, Atmospheric River is the word. Atmospheric River is what they called it. Just wanted to say a big thank you if you are watching the replay and you are still here. I wanted to say thank you especially. Who Flung Dung, I did do the super chats very late. I want to thank all of you guys that do support and do things like that. I thank you. And I appreciate all of you that have stuck with me when people were attacking me, doxing me, screaming at me, yelling at me, calling me all sorts of bad names. You guys stuck with me. Jstone78 stuck with me. Trinity stuck with me. West Virginia Prepared Mind stuck with me. Bones stuck with me. LCJC family stuck with me. All sorts of folks stuck with me. RGL Harris stuck with me. It's hard to... CJ Blaze stuck with me. I should have prepared a speech. Every single mod here is a mod for a reason. They were a mod because they came every single night, and they didn't just mod people because they didn't like people. They modded because they wanted to make it a more positive place here. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for being here. There is a bigger purpose to this, and thank you for being part of something bigger, which through all of the stories we cover, people don't realize we do have a bigger purpose here. So, there's a big thank you. And then a huge special thank you to Dex. He has helped me do a whole lot with this channel, and we are going to continue growing. We are going to make sure to always stay real. So, thank you guys. Much love. Be safe. Be prepared, and Marf out.
the mic.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfooglenews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle fam. You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel, and there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle fam is waiting for you.